Hello again, everyone. Melth here, surprising even myself by doing the next Chinese campaign mission. When I started this Let's Play 6 years or so ago, I had no intention at that time of doing any Chinese campaign missions other than Rising Waters, because at that time, that was pretty much the only good one, and the rest of them were bugged into unplayability or were just badly designed. However, when I played Rising Waters a week or two ago and found that they had fixed many bugs there, I got curious, and I wondered, have they fixed bugs in other missions too? I am not committing to playing the entire Chinese campaign, but I will at least check it out mission by mission and see if they're actually any good now. This one is. It has a fun and fairly well done gimmick of being a two-parter mission with very different phases. The first one's a very good tutorial about the Chinese units, and the next one is a giant onslaught against this huge base we're about to see. Much like things like Atlantis Reborn, they have a giant economy, just crank out units at us, and we've got to find a way to get to their town center and destroy it anyway. The cinematic is fairly boring, and it's unskippable. Perhaps because they didn't want to find a way to debug things if we did choose to skip it like happened last time. Lazy. So here we get a very small starting force with just a few Chukunus. And up ahead, we have a group of halberdiers to defeat. Halberdiers are the generic Chinese infantry. Basically the same kind of stats as like a Murmillo or a Hoplite. They were not terribly creative with the infantry in this game in general, I've got to say. The fun thing though is when we defeat them, then we unlock the ability to build halberdiers for ourselves. And then there's another enemy unit group that is weak to halberdiers. We beat them, we unlock those guys in turn. The next enemy unit group is weak to them, and so on. I'd say that's a fairly good tutorial structure. You get to experience a lot of units from both sides. And also importantly, you're not forced to do it this way. You can do what you want and just go across the map if you want to. And I'm going to choose not to. I'm going to use micro instead. The reason I'm going to do that is that halberdiers cost food, and they were very lazy, and they put not a single unit of food on the entire map. So you must farm for everything, and farming is slow and boring and miserable in this game. So instead I'll just beat these guys with micro, fighting them only a few at a time. These guys are scout cavalry. Now they will tell you that they're cavalry that are only good at scouting and not good at combat. Their stats, admittedly, unit per unit, are not as good as most cavalry. True. But they cost a heck of a lot less than any other cavalry. And importantly, they take only a single population slot, which is crazy. No combat unit in this game takes up only a single population slot. In terms of like power per population cost, they are bar none the best combat unit in the game among the human soldiers. Some Mythians of course are better. That's what Mythians do. I might also add, they are very powerful raiding units. Nominally they have less attack power than raiding cavalry, but they have a secret bonus that makes them do just as much damage against peasants, so they're incredibly good raiders, and you get 2 of them for free at the start of the game, and you can mass them easily out of your stables, so a huge asset. I'm going to send a Chukonu off here to scout, find an area where I want to build things later on. They have good vision like all archers, so they're a good choice for doing that job. Doesn't matter, just focus fire. Scout cavalry cost food, so I'm still not building them, but next up we'll get to fight and then unlock some Chukonus, at which point I will be able to actually build things. Wood and gold are plentiful. Alright, so Chukonus are dangerous because they can focus fire your heroes, and they also are very aggressive compared to these last units that had almost no aggro radius at all. Yeah, you can see I pulled out a whole bunch there. Not even like a natural order either. Kind of weird. Try to kind of do an anti-focus fire where I have Shun fight somebody different than the Chukonu so that you maximize the use of his instant death attack. At least ideally. Ooh, I pulled in more. It's gonna be okay though, I think. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of damage to my heroes, but I expect some of that. You can't outrun them, by the way. You should be able to. They've changed Chukonus a lot. We'll get another barracks here soon, then I will get control of that, and now I can mass my own Chukonus. When the game came out, Chukonus fired 2 shots at 4 damage apiece with terrible, terrible accuracy. They've changed that now, as you can see. They fire only a single shot with 7 damage, and basically just a generic archer with almost the same stats as the Toxotes. Maybe they were unbalanced before, but they are uninteresting and unoriginal now. There is probably a better way to do things than making them just have generic archer stats. Down over here we have a unit that desperately needed a rebalance, the Mounted Archer. Now, I am not a multiplayer player for this game. But I've talked to multiplayer players, and I've read about the multiplayer meta and so forth. People always emphasize just how important mobility is in this game. And raiding. And the very few units in the game that are both fast and have a ranged attack are incredible ipso facto, just almost civilization defining. The Atlantean Terma has just garbage stats. But the mere fact that it is a fast-moving range unit makes it good in and of itself. They are phenomenal raiders. Being so good with them made Oranos almost the only Atlantean pick for a while, and opponents must plan on countering them. The Egyptians work hard to tech up to heroic age chariot archers, their key unit. These guys, mounted archers, had like twice the attack power of a Terma. Their stats were comparable to chariot archers, arguably at a lower price, available earlier, costing less population, and also, just as the cherry on top, they countered cavalry really hard. The only unit that can actually catch up to them and kill them, they counter. So just probably the best range-fast unit in the game, beating those other civilization-defining ones. Now their attack power has been nerfed really hard. Still good, but not insane. But because the AI never really tries to run away or escape or has an economy to harass, I think now, in terms of the best bang for the buck, it's probably now Chuko News against the AI. So I'll do that. Next up we have Cataphracts here. Now, Cataphracts are a counter-infantry cavalry unit. You might be thinking, we've seen a lot of Chinese mounted units so far. Like, a lot of them. And you'd be right. Most civs in this game have only 1 or 2 mounted units, really, and usually one of them's not even very good. The Chinese have 5. They have a mounted unit for every possible job, which in the game, again, where speed is crucial, makes the Chinese have an incredible asset. Ao Quang. I'm going to mispronounce many of these things, I'm sure. Who they choose to age up with is irrelevant, because they can't actually use god powers or build myth units on this mission, and their mythic upgrades are irrelevant. But they can choose either one for some reason. Anyway, Cataphracts are extremely good at the job of countering infantry. They have solid cavalry stats, like not great, but solid. And whereas most counter units in this game have either garbage stats but a high multiplier, meaning they're only good against one thing, or have solid stats and only a small multiplier, so they're just kind of okay at countering that one thing. Cataphracts have both solid stats and just an insane multiplier of x3 damage against infantry. And of course they outrun them too. There is probably no unit in the game that counters the thing they're supposed to be countering harder than Cataphracts do. Maybe except heroes against myth units. And some myth units can outrun heroes, so even that is dubious. Anyway, my Chukanus can handle their halberders pretty easily. The Immortals are going to be a little bit tougher. Can't instant kill them, of course. And they have a ranged attack of their own they can do against your Chukanus, so you want to avoid having your Chukanus killed by them. I'm going to try to run Zhao Long around. He's been taking a lot more damage than Shun. I want to try to spread that out and have him not get chipped down to 0. We can't build villagers from that town center yet, only Immortals. And I am not doing that, it's a trap. They cost a lot of food. And more importantly, the enemy has no myth units on this mission, other than this one cluster of terracotta soldiers here, which our 2 starting heroes are more than enough to deal with. So don't build any Immortals ever on this mission. Terracotta soldiers are quite weak, cheap, massable myth units, sort of like Automata, but less interesting. Automata, of course, had the unique ability that they could repair each other, and even revive dead Automata. Terracottas just do area of effect damage upon death, like 4 other myth units already do. I mean, Scarabs do that, and Lampades do that, and Karkinoses do that too. They also refund part of their costs upon death, which is more interesting. But that ability was cut down to almost nothing. It used to refund almost half their price, now it's barely even noticeable. They should have been nerfed in some other way, so their unique thing could have been kept interesting. As you saw, that god power can multiply both myth units and human soldiers, although it only says it works on human soldiers. So I'll have my army take out these priests, while my heroes go off and do a side quest. The next phase of the mission is about to begin. Let me also make this temple be group 8, and task it over there, and task my barracks over there. That will be the next battlefield in the new phase of the map. And just chew through these priests as fast as we can. There we go, unlock that. That will make the villagers train faster. Oop, no, no, no. Mass-produce villagers. 3 go to farming, because I must farm. Oh, one of those was in fact not a villager. One of those was Shun. And then I'm going to cast Imperial Examination to make everything train or construct faster, letting me boom out villagers super fast from both town centers. I need a huge economy to build a huge and upgraded army. Alright, you guys, how about you go and build me some walls here, which is what I explored for before. Getting walls to work on this mission is very difficult, because the pathing of some of these cliffs is just insane. You seal it up as tight as it'll let you, but then enemy units can walk through anyway. Yeah, you get down there, let's get everyone down there to where there's some gold mines we'll be finding. Here's a little side quest you can do. You need to actually be looking here to trigger it for whatever silly reason. I'll get some priests to heal my forces. I'll get a head start on the Oracle Bones research, which takes a long time, but will make all my units built from barracks a good deal cheaper, 15%. So for the quest, you have to bring the priest a relic, and then he'll open up a new path to backdoor the enemy base. A solid idea to reward exploration. The problem is, the relic isn't actually placed on the map until this conversation, which actually punishes prior exploration. There also were several iterations of bugs where it just wouldn't work for various reasons, like the relic wouldn't spawn, or he wouldn't accept it, or he wouldn't open the passageway anyway. So in the original version you had to just brute force your way through this entire massive base filled with towers and walls, and they rebuilt everything, and it was just awful. Alright, let's get ourselves a storehouse, and then some gold over there. I'm gonna get out... I don't think I can actually afford that upgrade. Oh, time for the big battle. The enemy is a little bit early. They caught Zhao Long alone on his way back to the priest, and he's getting chipped down. That's okay, I don't like him anyway. I'm probably getting to the point where I might have enough villagers on gold in particular. I will want more on the other resources. They're gonna kill my villager, that's okay, I can rebuild it. I've got a god tower that's good for nothing else. There's another priest. Right, you guys build me another wall over here. I think I also want to get another garden to get more favor. I need lots of that for lots of mythic upgrades and some castles later on. Really, I just need more of everything. It's kind of a matter of what I prioritize first, but I need to get more of every single resource, including favor. Fundamentally, my strategy for the second half of this mission is to get myself a crucial payload of fire lances, the only siege unit that I can build, because although they tell you to build setting tigers, they're not actually available in this mission. And I build enough other forces to escort those to destroy the enemy town center by the backdoor route. Alright, I think I have enough villagers on wood now that I can start tasking some of them over onto farms instead. I know my farm placement here is not the most efficient possible, but should be good enough. Down here, let me task a guy off of that and have him build me an armory. I want that for some armory upgrades. The enemy has much more upgrades than we do because they get the mythic age and we can't. And they can get better armor upgrades too. So you're always at a serious unit quality disadvantage on this mission. I have to make up for that with numbers. Speaking of which, I'll get myself some more Chuko news. Alright, let's get you back over here, and you can start farming there, but really we want you to build some more... Actually, you know what? Wall first. Build a wall here to funnel them into the town center. Putting the fun in funnel. At least for me. Okay. Let's get some of you guys over here building more farms. And let's have you get over there, and I think that might find... Oh, no. That might finally be enough villagers on wood. I think I'm going to get myself another garden. Right now, gold seems less of a priority than wood does. Or food. There's one of their scout cavalry. Luckily, they don't actually use those to harass you. So many more upgrades that I want. I also, of course, need to get a castle to make fire lances. But it's crucially important not to build the castle before I'm fully ready to just crank them out full speed. Because once you build a castle, the enemy suddenly and permanently goes into overdrive and will send non-stop massive waves at you. That happens with the AI of several missions of the original campaigns too, and honestly I think it's pretty bad design. Let's see if my priest can steal one or two of their guys here. No, you dumb Mythian, I told you to run away. Pishus, by the way, just use the exact copy-pasted stats of Nemean Lions. Just Nemean Lions, but not as interesting. Their only ability is to get you a little tiny bit of gold when they fight, but it's not enough to really matter that much. While the battle goes on, I'll get myself some more Chuko news, and maybe I'll get myself another Pishu too. They are pretty good tanks against range attacks. And I think now is probably the time to have some of these guys go over there and build me 2 castles. Time to reorder the economy and also try to reorder where the enemy military goes. If you wall them off here, they actually will redirect to go to the secret passage, which I'm now building castles near instead. I also must figure out the timing to get my own forces from here where they're guarding against current waves over to the castle side without leading another wave that just happens to break through the walls here or something like that before they get redirected. Here comes another wave. As I said, they go into overdrive once you start building castles. As I said, I think that's a fairly bad design choice because it punishes smart behavior. It reminds me of that old joke about the student going, "My teacher is so mean. When I study hard, she gives me an easy test. When I don't study, she gives me a hard one." But here, the student is right. Preparation is being punished. It's not awful, but it can really catch you by surprise until you know about it, and once you know about it, you have to kind of ask yourself, why did they design it this way? Anyway, I need to have 2 castles so I can not only mass produce fire siphons, but also quickly get 2 crucial upgrades. Turning them into heavy units, and also getting draft horses so they can move faster. What are we doing? No. Why are you guys going there? Get everything tasked over that way. And we can now just kind of abandon this front. Maybe I'll have one mounted archer stay here because I happen to get an extra mounted archer. Get out that upgrade too. Once you guys finish that, get back onto wood. You know what? You guys are too far away from the wood stockpiles. Let's get ourselves another storehouse over here. Jeez, why can't I see anything? Fine. Over there. Whatever. And then over here, I'm going to get myself out this upgrade. Oh, I didn't finish building the castle. No, 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 no. I thought I shift-clicked that. Okay, I've really set myself back there. That will definitely cost me some time. Maybe I can make up for it in some other way. The middle of the mission was going pretty well, I think. But winning fast now is all about how fast I get those fire lances out in large numbers. I can now start massing pea shoes, which are also pretty good against buildings, so that's a solid choice. Oh good, the enemy has redirected this way as I wanted them to. Or wait, maybe it's just a scout. What the heck are these guys doing still back here? It's a gate. You can totally walk through. It is totally traversable. I'm glad they didn't get massacred while they were sitting there or something, but I was hoping they'd be getting healed during this time, and they didn't, because they got stuck. Maybe I better cancel that pea shoe, actually, so I can get out more fire lances faster. These recent command and control difficulties have put me behind schedule. I'd gotten a good start, but things are not going smoothly anymore. I think to make up for it, I forced me to get more fire lances out fast, and I also just can't delay the attack any longer. I'll ready the barracks to produce new troops to this location, move up this narrow canyon, and somewhere at the top of it, there will be a wall blocking our path, with a gate, of course. Even if they upgraded the wall, the pea shoes and the fire lancers should take care of it pretty easily. Wait, the hotkey to select the castles isn't working. I thought I hotkeyed them to group 7. I don't know why that didn't work. Seems like a lot of command and control problems are suddenly happening all at once and slowing me down here. They say another dark ritual is if we've seen a previous one, which we haven't coming from this route. But if you go through the main fortress, you see a previous one. Basically, if you don't kill the monks within like 50 seconds, you get hit by a tornado. So I must assassinate the enemy monks while also trying to keep my fire lances safe and taking out the tower that's in the way. It's not so bad from this side, but if you're coming from the main direction, the southwest, it's pretty much impossible to get through the entire enemy town and get to and kill those monks. You should probably just give up on it and just let the tornado happen and run away first. It'd be less painful to just back off than it would be to try to get your army through the entire enemy town while they're all chopping at you to assassinate 4 of those monks in the back. Alright, I need to get all my fire lances together and then deliver them to the enemy town center and take that thing out. I don't have as many fire lances as I wanted, but they are at least pretty well upgraded. And I've got some pea shoes to help them with the siege damage against the town center. And also, I'm at least going to be able to do well, I think, I'm preserving my fire lances and having them not all get massacred by huge enemy armies here. Everyone else's job is just to protect the fire lances from anybody who comes up and tries to attack them. Nothing else really matters. And get out of their way while they do the job. This could have gone faster, but it's going to be okay. Where is their big army anyway? Usually they sent like a big wave to me at this point. But yeah, okay, at this point I can just focus fire them. It's going to be alright. Why are you guys not doing what I told you to? So that's a win in what, 18 minutes of gameplay? Not bad at all. I've done a little bit better in the past, but this is still a pretty good time. Anyway, now that side quest to allow this backdoor at the enemy base is operational, I think this is a fairly good mission all in all. First they teach you all of the new units, and then they give you a giant economy and make you face off against another giant economy using all of those new units. This cinematic is kind of slipshod. We're actually being teleported to another part of the map secretly to show the hole in the ground that was already pre-placed, using the Well of Erd model somehow or other. Sometimes the camera rotates in completely the wrong way and actually goes under the ground, making the hole look like a mountain instead of a hole. This is also almost certainly meant to be a smoking crater, but they forgot the smoke part, didn't make it look burned enough, despite there being numerous models on the game files for smoke-producing scorch marks and things like that. Unimpressive cinematics aside, though, I think it was a fairly good mission. Now that it's working anyway, I do want to emphasize that it was not operational when the game came out. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. And a special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Illusory Thunder, Master Knight DH, Advanced Warrior, Gregory, William Wakefield, Kenny Boggs, Danny Hall, and Jeffrey Morse. Have a great day, everyone.